So hello everyone. We are happy to host this morning session at FabX Live, and with Marcel Rodriguez from Fab Lab Barcelona, that he's going to make a presentation about communicating design, which is a workshop that it is part of Distributed Design Market Platform, and it's about helping makers and designers to communicate their ideas with the world in an effective way in order to generate sales on the projects or get other people involved to help them thrive. So I will leave you with Marcel. Hello, Marcel.
Hello, everyone.
And yes, I will join you probably in the end of the session so that I see that everything is okay. Enjoy.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you, Anastasia.
Ciao.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I know it's pretty early in some places of the world, but I'm happy that you made it here. I am Marcel from Fab Lab Barcelona at IAAC. And I'm part of a unit team inside the Fab Lab that we call the Happiness Unit. And we call it Happiness Unit because our work is to communicate the work that we do and reach other people with the research projects that we do. So it's basically getting research and all of the knowledge that we do at our lab to the hands of everyone. So that's why I'm going to talk about communicating design today. And this talk is part of the Distributed Design Platform, which is co-founded by the European Union through the Creative Europe program. And what is Distributed Design Platform? Is a platform that it's constituted by 15 members, and it's about empowering mostly European makers and designers to change the production paradigm. That's basically to change, It's basically celebrating the work of makers and designers that design for good and help them thrive in this wild world. So again, 15 members from 12 European countries. And how it works, we do normally local activities that are hosted in the cities of each member, and then some global activities that anyone can join. Some of them right now are mostly online, of course, so you can check our website to see some opportunities and resources. I will share the website later. So some of the global activities that we run every year are the Distributed Design Awards, which we celebrate every year, and it's about celebrating the best maker and design response to the post-industrial design paradigm. And that's basically designers apply with their projects, and our jury and advisory board selects the best ones, and you can get some awards. We just did the Distributed Design Awards this year. We closed the applications on the end of June, and we got around more than 170 projects. And we will host an online exhibition of all the applicants later on at our website. Some other global activities that we do is that we make books. We make one book every year. We have made 2 already, and one is called Fab City, the mass distribution of almost everything. And the other one is Design Remix, Share Repeat. If you want to read these books, you can do it online for free, or you can get your copy printed on demand. These books are in our website. And another global activity that we hosted last year was the Plastic for Good Challenge, and we did it with 15 designers at the Precious Plastic headquarters in Eindhoven. with the challenge of design something that helps the society using recycled plastic. So this is a brief introduction of the project, and you can check out our website to find more resources and opportunities for makers and designers. But that's not why we're here.
Hi, Marcel. Sorry for
Hi.
interrupting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Pradnya this side. So it would be great if you share the link of your website in chat so everyone can look it. The link of website you are talking about to visit the participant. Yeah,
okay.
got it in the chat. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So it's here. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I just realized I missed like 3 slides before. I'm not like so super pro in Zoom, but here we go. Can you see my screen now, right?
We see the screen, but we see it in presenter view. We don't see it in like presentation view.
You don't see my presentation. Now you do?
Sí, muy bien.
Okay. So, sorry. This is the website. You can see now?
Yes.
Vale. So, what we're going to talk about is how to communicate your design projects. So, this is like a framework that I try to summarize everything we do in our team at Fab Lab Barcelona in like 2 steps, which is build your brand and find your tribe. This is not exactly 2 steps, like one goes after the other. This is a cycle, and I will explain later why. The first part is building your brand. And by building a brand, I don't mean from the commercial point of view, which is having a logo, register a company, and make sales. What I mean by building your brand is a set of assets that differentiates your project from others. And this set of assets help people connect with your project, your brand. So the first part of building your brand is explaining what you do. And I have seen this is the most common mistake for makers and designers when communicating their ideas. I know it's very hard for them to explain what they do. So some simple tricks that I found is that you can describe it as if it was a tweet, one tweet like from some years ago when you have like 140 characters. And why is that? Because most of makers, I feel like they watch like too much TED Talks and where they heard like they need to explain why their work is going to change their world, or they read somewhere that they need to get emotional and tell the whole story about their life, or mostly they get too technical and want to explain every detail of their project. And that's not what people want to hear. You need to be short, say it as if it was a tweet. We saw this when we got the applications for the Distributed Design Awards. First thing we checked from the projects was the short descriptions. It was the length of a tweet, and then the photos of the project. The rest is just complementary. So describe it as if it was a tweet, and don't describe your goal, what you want to do in the future, like the version 5, the version 4 of your project or prototype. Describe what you do today. And then do the grandma test. Like you need to explain it to any grandma and she needs to understand what you do. It's not explaining it to your Fab Lab or other designers because they will understand for sure. So I want to show you some quick examples from the talents from the Distributed Design Network. These are Gomi Design Studio from Brighton. And when you go to the website, the first thing you see, it's pretty obvious what they do. And it's that they turn non-recycled plastic waste into products. Easy to understand, short. Maybe you can write this twice in a tweet, and it's easy for you to get the point. Then another talent from the network is Foss from Taller Esférica in Barcelona. And they say it very simple. They make sustainable eyewear handcrafted in Barcelona. Another one is the winner from the Distributed Design Award from last year, and it's BB House. You can quickly see that BB House allows everyone to design, create, and adapt healthy and vibrant urban buildings. So short, bold, and simple. Second part about building your brand is going visual. And that starts with defining your mood and style. Again, it's not just a logo, no? It's not how your project looks like, it's not how is your logo. And the process for doing this is not going to the main brands of your sector and copy what they do. If you are making, I don't know, a GPS, normally we have seen people go to, I don't know, Garmin's website and try to copy what they do, but that's not the way to go. So I want to quickly show the process that we follow in our team at Fab Lab Barcelona, which is pretty simple and intuitive, I guess. What we do is we go to Pinterest and create a board and start crafting our visual universe. This is an actual mood board that I created for a project that I was involved. So in this board in Pinterest, what you start doing is adding everything that feels and smells and somehow you know it makes sense for your project. And that goes for photos, logos, posters, products, illustrations, packaging, videos, quotes, anything works. Anything that feels like your project should feel. So in this case, maybe you get it, and it was a project about STEAM, kids for STEAM education. So you somehow quickly get it. Sorry. So basically this Pinterest board will be like an inspiration box where you can always go back when you don't know what to do in terms of communication and visuals. So for crafting your mood board, it's not about what you like, but about what connects with your audience. If you are into rock music, metal, don't try to put it into your project if it doesn't make sense. Avoid trends, because if you are not a design studio that can always be like updating and changing your identity, that will be like, you will be outdated like in 3 months. And also you don't want to look like the rest. And next step will be sketching your look and feel. You already have the inspiration from the board and now you need to sketch it. I want to quickly show you some tools for doing this. And Canva, of course, the main ones, but they are like pretty obvious and expensive and not all of us know how to use them. So for example, very simple for designing, you can use Canva. We have been using this in our lab and it's very, very useful. Like you can create templates for sharing in social media, for printing, for any format that you need and export it from there. It has a mobile app and a website, so you can design there. Inkscape is like the open source Illustrator, and Over, which is like the Canva. So this is just tools, but following the process, the next step when you have your board, and this is the process we follow again. First thing we do is to get the color. And for this, I wouldn't recommend you try to start from the scratch. Like I recommend you to be like very resourceful and use things that you can get anywhere else. So these tools that you see in here, you can use for getting color palettes. So you can, based on the board that you have in Pinterest, get similar colors in here. You know that they work well together. Next step will be getting a typography for all of the projects I do. I get my typographies here. So, and again, you can look for your mood board and get something that looks similar and feels like what you want. And then it's graphics. Graphics, normally we make them, but if you don't know how to make them or you don't have the time, you can get some free ones in here. These websites I highly recommend. They are somehow curated because you can find mostly anything. So this is an example of a project identity that we built to show you how we did the same process. So first, we created, of course, our visual universe in Pinterest, and then we started with the colors. These are the colors we choose, the color palette of the project. This is the typography we choose, and this is basically the logo. So we just use a font and a simple shape. And then we created the graphics. So this project was about a research project. It's a new research project about transforming the food systems from the bottom up. So that means engaging local communities from all age range. So we wanted to make it like friendly, playful, accessible. So it started like this, and then we started using it like this. So yeah, what we wanted to do was to avoid the typical organic greenwash that normally relates to food, and yeah, make it playful, colorful, accessible, and friendly. This is a simple example made with the resources we had by hand, very simple. The next step, going visual, will be like having decent photography. In these tools below, you can find basically apps and open tools for editing your pictures, so they are not like super dark. And then same for video. You have the typical software, but then there's alternatives in here. And then the website. I'm going to explain a bit more on photography and video, and not on website, but I want to tell you like something briefly. And it is a common mistake I see on the websites of makers and designers, because normally the ones that I've met at the lab, they know how to code. And the thing is that they try to reinvent the wheel. No, of course, they want to build their website from scratch, and I know it makes sense not to pay for a platform, but what I will suggest is that you follow the structure and layout that works for others. So it's not, okay, you code your own website and then you rethink the structure of a normal website, and then you rethink the structure of the information. What I will suggest is to follow the structure that works for others, similar projects, and same with the information, follow their structure. And if you don't know how to code, these platforms are pretty simple. Maybe you know them already, but it's very simple to create like engaging websites. So on photography, when you have the description of your project, you have some decent visuals that engage, then you will need nice photography. And part of that, it's having product photography. And yeah, product photography, another common mistake I see in the maker and designers is the dark pictures of products and prototypes. And that nobody wants to see a dark picture. So these are some pictures we have taken from projects from the lab, and some are from the distributed design market platform talents. And what you can see here is that they are pretty simple and they have good light. So I have a very simple hack for getting decent light for your products and prototypes, and it's these boxes. You have two versions, one that you can buy online and it's somehow cheap, around 65 euros. We bought one for our lab like in the last week, and it's very, very useful for like students to photograph their prototypes. And if you don't want to buy it, you can make it your own, like from 10 euros, but it's very, very useful, and it will change how people see your designs. And then it's what I call hands-on photography, which is not all about your product and the prototypes you make, but the work that you do, the photos of your process, your team working, your workspace, what you eat at lunch, I don't know, anything that helps also connect people with your project. So yeah, these are some photos from students at our lab, some projects, prototypes, work in progress. And a simple way to hack the light in these photos, which is the most common mistake. You can learn about like composition, but the main mistake I see normally is the light. So I would recommend you use the natural light. But if you can't, if your lab is dark like ours, you can do this simple trick, which is getting an external flash for your camera. You can buy one like from $30. It's very cheap, or maybe there are some tutorials on how to make one online. And this is a simple trick that we use normally for taking these pictures, and you can see they are not dark and they are somehow like nice. And it's bouncing the flash to the ceiling. So you get this cheap flash, you put it on top of your camera, and instead of shooting the flash directly to the objects and prototypes or people, you bounce the flash through the ceiling and it goes down again, and it's like painting the whole scene, and it looks better. Then you will need to do video. And a simple trick we found for doing video of your products and prototypes is this rotating product turntable. And we make this for the Smart Citizen a few years ago. And again, it was pretty cheap. It's just acrylic and like the cheapest LED lights on the sides and one on top. And that's it. It looks great, I think. And yeah, you can find tons of tutorials online on how to make it. I really like this one because it looks super pro, but you can go cheaper and easier. If anyone have any questions or comments while I'm speaking, feel free to interrupt. So this will be about showing prototypes and products in video, but then we have some like quick references for sharing your progress, process, tutorials. And yeah, one reference is Agustin Flowalistic, which is another distributed design talent. He makes like very cool videos. I don't know if it's with his phone or a camera, but it doesn't have a lot of production, and they look really nice to show like what he's doing and not just the final output. And then I really like the Practical Engineer, which you probably know. And of course, Precious Plastics on YouTube. They are like the best reference we can find. And yeah, for video, I will say use natural light and shoot with the resources you have. If you have a mobile and that's the only thing you can get, don't stop doing videos because you don't have the most professional camera. Just get decent light, get good reference on the content that you want to shoot, and it will look more or less nice. Okay, so that will be the first part. Communicating your designs that was building your brand. The second part will be finding your tribe. And finding your tribe, it's basically connecting with like-minded people and building a community around your passion or project. And I said at the beginning that it was a cycle, that it's not 2 steps. Why is that? And that's because you don't need to have a project or a product to start engaging with people that care about the same things that you do. No, you don't need to have that perfect finished product to share it with the world. And I'm gonna show you how you can start finding your tribe, even if you don't have a project. The first step for doing this, I will say, is open up, be open, show the progress of your work, your daily failures, your learnings and findings. And yeah, this is an account from Medio Design Studio. And you can see here, everything is process, and it's very engaging, it's very simple, and you can all do this. Then create and share goals. These are some talents from the distributed design platform, and they created this Patreon where you can like support their work. And it's basically, yeah, for them, like sharing. They created this goal for them, which was like getting people to support their projects, and it's sharing it. It's not about like, oh, I will try to get people before and then I share it. Like, it's committing to your goal, which is getting people to support your project and doing it public, making it public. Doesn't matter if you have 3 people supporting, it's fine. Just commit and share your goals. Then using open source and tools to document your projects like Wikifactory, GitHub, HackMD, writing blog posts. And yeah, this example is one of the projects that came out from the Plastic for Good Challenge that we told the designers to document the whole process, so you can check it in Wikifactory if you want. But that's another way of engaging the community, like sharing all the knowledge that you have. And this is part of the next point. And this is something super powerful that makers and designers can share as content, because normally brands can't do this. Like, you never see a brand sharing their designs online, or their processes or techniques or materials or recipes for building materials. And that's something super powerful for you to engage a community, is shared part of your process. Yeah, unless you have a patent. But for example, I'm not saying you should give your whole design for free. And if you're trying to make a living out of it, you will share it and then you have nothing. You can share part of your work. If you have a product, you can share only the technique to build it, the joinery that you use. You can use part of it and share it for free with the world, and your community will be very, very grateful for that. And this example is, again, Flowalistic. He makes some projects on the side and he shares them online for free, very well documented, with nice graphics. And as you can see here, he have grown like a big community already. And part of it, it's because he's open and he shares what he do. Like, another way of opening up and engaging with your community is offering for help. If you don't have a project and you want to collaborate and go out and do stuff, you can simply write a message and say, hey, I'm available. I can collaborate with your projects. I know how to do 3D printing. I know I have these skills. I'm looking for someone to work with. And if you don't have a project and you want to share something, a great way of having content is sharing projects from other people. Basically, you will have free content to share and projects that are related to what you do. You start growing a community, you start engaging with people, and whenever you have a project, you can start publishing your project and you already have some people around that care about those same topics. The second part of finding your tribe online will be honest. And the first advice I will say in here is don't pretend to be Apple, like sometimes. And with the tips and tricks I say before when going visual, we always want to look like super cool, super perfect, perfect naming, logo, branding, photos. And then if you try to pretend that you are like super pro and you are like a consolidated brand, then people will expect the same, no? If you look like Apple, people will expect that you are like Apple, no? Like if you want to return something, you can return. If the product is not perfect, they will expect it to be perfect, or they will want a refund. If you sell something online and you don't have like the customer support, they will expect that and like get really upset with you if you don't deliver. So be honest, show your project, your product as it is. And then, of course, stories move hearts. Show your failures, findings, and happy moments. And yeah, Dave Hackens is the king on this because they are super honest on everything they share. Like, I don't know, I saw a blog post last week, I guess, where they explain with charts and everything how they spend all the money they got. Like, I think it was like from different like grants and stuff, but they don't need to make that public. They don't need to share that with the world, but they connect with the community by doing that. So that's very nice. And that way you are helping people. It's not just like, oh, look how I spend my money. It's look what we did and what we learned from it. Of course, show your team, show that there is people behind it. It doesn't matter if it's your partner, your parents, your friends, show them and show that your people behind a project. It's not just prototypes, circuits, and machines. And then the last one in here will be, don't worry, be crappy. And by that, I mean, it's not doing ugly stuff or, yeah, and yeah, because it doesn't matter, I'm honest. It's because normally I've seen like people around our network, around our lab, never share their projects with the world because they say it's not ready. Like, no, I need to fix this, I need to do that, I need to buy this, I need to do a professional photography, I need to go there. So they never launch anything. Like, nobody knows about their projects because it never was perfect. It was never perfect. So launch what you have. Of course, if you're launching, you won't have a community, so nobody will see what you launch. So it's fine. You will launch it for your friends. You will get a few likes, and or if it's a website, you will get no visits. So it's fine. Be crappy. Launch what you have. You need to be like a bit. You need to have a bit of shame of what you launch. If not, you waited too much. So yeah, this is because you can start publishing the process, what you're doing. And so you are building like expectations. Then the third part of finding your tribe will be making a plan and testing everything. So for that, what we do normally in our team is to have a content calendar. So that's because your main tasks won't be publishing stuff in social media. You will be creating your projects, designs, crafting, iterating. So this is just another job you have. So you need some tools to help you make it easy for you. And having a content calendar, it makes it super easy. So you know what you're publishing, when you're publishing, and where. And you don't need to know and learn how to do this. You can find templates online. For example, this screenshot that I put here, it's a free template that you can add on Trello, or you can do it in spreadsheets, or you can do it by hand on the wall. but organize the content that you will publish within at least 2 weeks. And then it's not just organizing the content, but it's the scheduling, the posting of your content. So if you have in your calendar, like I need to publish this day at this time, but then you are working with machines or you are at the beach or you need to be reacting, and like creating a community shouldn't be around reacting and be always in a hurry, because that will make it very difficult for you to like keep on the schedule. So schedule all the posts. You can use tools like Facebook Creator Studio. It's free, it's very basic and very simple to use. This is a screenshot of the platform. And then, yeah, I will highly suggest you try all the channels before deciding the ones that you are going to use. I know this can sound like pretty difficult at the beginning, but it's just for filtering, seeing what works for you and ignoring the rest. You don't need to be everywhere, of course. You don't need to have Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You need to be where your audience is. And if you don't know where your audience is, you need to try it. And then always be listening. Like all of these tools I mentioned before, they have analytics, pretty basics. You don't need to do courses on analytics for social media. You just need, it's pretty intuitive. You need to see when did you post something, what was the reaction of people, and then compare, was it because of the content you post, or was it because of the time you posted? Was it because of the caption you post? So yeah, always measure what you do and keep doing what works. And finally, have fun, because if you don't enjoy it, it will be a nightmare. And that's what we do in our team. Like, we really like research, we like design, we love working with communities. So it's great that we are somehow like a step in the middle, because we are seeing and living both worlds. We like to connect, we like to make content online. So yeah, I mean, at the beginning, it's not necessary that you enjoy it, you need to do it. And then maybe in the future you can get someone to help. And that will be all from my side. This is my email. If you want to reach me with questions or anything, I will try to find a way to share with you this presentation, or at least the list with the tools that I showed you before. And yeah, and if, yeah, I will talk to Anastasia, and if that's not possible, I will, you can reach me by email and I will share it with you, of course. And yeah, again, this presentation was part of the Distributed Design Platform, co-founded by the Creative Europe program of the European Union. I'm really sorry that at the beginning I didn't have my slides working. I'm not a Zoom pro, but yeah, it was only 3 slides. So I think we have around 15 minutes left if you want to ask some questions or share some doubts around communicating your projects or ideas. We can discuss it. And if not, yeah, hope you have enjoyed.
Hi, Marcel. This is Pradnya.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. So yeah, it's really a wonderful workshop, and I just like to thank you for this presentation, and really very good, inspirational, and motivating slides as well, because many people don't know how to like find a tribe and find the platform for the promotional activity, like what their projects making and how to promote it. So it is really wonderful. And I would like to tell all participants, please feel free to ask any question if you have.
So thank you, Pratnya. Sorry, I was waiting for somebody if they had a question. So I think we're done now, looks like. Thank you for inviting me and for hosting this talk. I hope it was like fruitful for you and for the rest of the designers around. And yeah, if you don't want to ask anything because it was all clear, or because you are nervous of the mic or the camera, just reach me on email. Here it is again. And that's it. Thank you for being here the whole hour.
Thank you,
Marcel, someone is asking the slides is shared. Like, can you share your last slide, presentation slide?
Last presentation, yeah. This one.
Some Palap
It's in the,
she's asking.
sorry, I didn't have the chat open. I have too many windows open. Okay, so yeah, sorry, what was the slide? I planted something.
You shared your presentation anywhere?
Yeah. If you tell me later where to put it, I can share the whole presentation. The links are added there, the videos are added there, so you can have access to everything. Yeah.
Also, someone asked before, like, what do you use for video editing? Do you have ways to add closed captioning in a quick, easy way? I think
Yeah.
Kate is answer in chat.
We always have closed captioning in a quick, easy way. Well, for editing video, we use professional software and we use Mac, so we go for Final Cut Pro. But that's why I didn't want to share like this main software, because like most people that edits video knows them, but they are pretty expensive and it's easy to use, but it's expensive. So for starting, I don't recommend it. That's why all of the tools I shared are or free or either cheap or very easy to use, or you can use them from your phone. So that's more like a starting point. But yeah, for editing video, we do Final Cut Pro, and the captioning, we use a plugin for translating the text into captions. So yeah, then it's more accessible for people to read it in different language. And that's when the videos go for Instagram, for example. When the videos go for YouTube, we upload the captions directly to YouTube, so you can translate them in different languages without uploading the video several times. Yeah, somebody, Dalia, asked about the sites to make websites apart from Wix. I will try to get it quickly. But it's basically Squarespace, Ready Mac, Wix, and of course, WordPress. Lately, I have been using Squarespace for a project, and I really like it. It's very useful and easy. And that's what I said before, like you don't need to think of the layout. You have plenty of options there that you can just drag and drop and what you need without thinking about how to show it. The thing with these platforms is, yeah, the pricing. It's not expensive. It's way cheaper than paying for a developer. But yeah, I highly recommend it for having an organized website that looks good and it's easy to communicate. For example, this website that I showed before from Gomi Design, one of the distributed design talents, it's made on Squarespace. And you can build one of these websites in a day, and you can have an online shop if you're building a product. So they are a very good example on the communications of a project. Any insights or Canva to help document? What, sorry?
This is Puneet from Bangalore. I have a question for you.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you master all this making the content, I want you to comment on how how do you reach out, or how do you expand your reach? Yeah, because we are trying to get attention of a lot of people, or at least some part of the audience, and it's usually a large number, more than 100 or something like that. So how do we reach a scale?
Yeah, like well, apart from the tips and tricks I said before, like the main hack you can do, and I have been testing this for like 4 weeks already, and it worked like amazingly, is to share content from others. And that's not stealing, that's you take someone's project and you share it, always crediting. First thing you do is to credit the project. This was made by these people, and then you add something. So you take it, credit, and then aggregate something. No, why are you sharing it? Not just because you want to have followers, but because it's related to what you do.
From like 5 people to more.
What do you mean? Sorry.
How do you increase the number of people? How do you reach out to a large audience?
In social media, you mean?
Yeah, even in social media, like what's the way of success in social media or reaching out to people?
Well, yeah, it's what I was saying before, no? Like there are plenty of things you need to take in account, like from the quality of the content, how you talk in social media, but like the biggest trick I could share with you right now is to publish inspiration and related projects to what you do. This way you tag the people that you are sharing the content from. So let's say you work around design, furniture design, let's say. So you share every now and then the progress of your work, some prototypes, some finished products, some daily workshop moments. And then you share furniture made by design by other people around the world. And oh, look at this great chair made from wood by this person in Milano, and you tag this person. Normally what will happen is that this person will like reshare your post, no? Like for example, on Instagram stories, they will say like, oh, look, Puneet shared my product, my share, because it's super cool and people like what I do. So then the audience from that designer will get back to your profile, and potentially, if your content is good, they will start following you. So it's like multiplying your reach for like 100. If you post like every week some pictures and work from other people, again, crediting and aggregating something that gives value to your community, you will not get only to your audience, but their audience, because they will follow. And if they don't share that repost, at least they will be tagged in the post, like you tag them in the picture. And then the people that follows them, when they check the pictures that they are tagged, they will see your post, they will go to your profile and follow you. So just like a quick example, I have been testing this with an account from like just inspiration as a test for social media. And in 1 month, we got 900 followers, only sharing inspirations. So if you share inspiration plus your work, plus you are honest, plus you are open and you share open source stuff like that, that's way, way more people. And apart from all of this is patience. Like you won't get like famous or viral overnight. Like for Fab Lab Barcelona, for example, we had around 14,000 followers. And that's a lot of work, a lot of effort put into every single piece of content that we put out. And that account has like, I don't know how much, but around 5 years, I would say.
Okay, thank you for your insight. That was useful.
Great. And somebody, Ronan James, asked about insights or Canva, I think, to help documentation. I don't have it because normally our team works mainly in communications, but you can use tools like Wikifactory, for example, and I know they have plenty of layouts and guidelines for documenting your project. So if you go to wikifactory.com, wikifactory.com, you can create your account, you can check, I don't know where they have it somewhere, but some guidelines and tricks to properly document your project. So we have 1 minute if anyone has quick questions. Do you use any license for your work, like Creative Commons? License for your work? Not really, because the output of our work are normally like communications outputs. But we will start doing something like this for the knowledge that we share from Fab Lab Barcelona. Like, for example, from some of our projects that we have built like a custom websites on WordPress, for example, we have shared the theme, the template, the open source in our GitHub. So yeah, it has the license also in the GitHub, but yeah, normally we don't license the things we do. We will start doing it as Fab Lab Barcelona. But yeah, mainly the people that use our work, like pictures or videos, are like friends or people around our network. So we just talk by email, hey, can we use this? Yes. Just give the proper credit. Like most of the things we do are open and we share them, of course. It's just crediting ourselves. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, I think we should finish because there are some other workshops starting right now. So electronics, yeah.
There's one last question. So
okay.
It will be.
Yeah, of course.
So in electronics and telecommunication engineering side, is there use of this technique?
Which like technique?
Priyanka, can you elaborate your question? Like which technique, the marketing or product design or what?
Is there use of this technique? Yeah, that depends, because the insights I shared are very open. So I don't know. I don't know if I understand the question, but what I'm trying to say is that I was talking more about communicating design in general. So it can be a product, it can be a prototype, it can be a project, and your project is a community. So it's a wider concept. So yeah, basically most of the insights and tricks I shared before, you can use it in almost any field. It's just adapting it to your audience. I don't know if that answers your question. Okay. Is there another Marcel Rodriguez?
Yeah. Hi. So yeah, thank you so much, Marcel, for this wonderful session, and thank you all participants for joining it.